Okay, guys, this is just going to be a quick review of how to determine the letter name of each line and space on the treble and bass clef. So as I mentioned in one of the other videos, this is going to be material that is review for some of you. So if you feel like you are already solid on where a G is and where an A is, all those different things, then that's great. You don't have to watch this video. This is just for people who need a refresher or just want to reference this back later. You can play it, of course, as many times as you want. So we do it a little bit differently, at least I'm at high school, where when we explain how to find the notes on the staff. I'm sure you probably heard in elementary school and middle school, the every good boy does fine and face, all those types of things for where to find it. So for example, you might have learned every good boy deserves fudge, or one of those silly acronyms, right? And then the treble clef lines are F, A, C, E. And if that works for you, that pops into your head really quick, that's great. But ultimately the goal is to understand the concept and to get faster as you go. And then down here on the bass clef, the symbol is called the bass clef. Then we have things like all cows eat grass and other different ways. But we think of it in high school a little bit differently, and it's just to give you more tools. Of course, we'll never make you think about it a certain way, but this is another way to think of it. So this symbol up here, you sometimes hear called a treble clef. You can also call it a G clef. In fact, the symbol itself, you kind of look through this part of the symbol right there, you kind of can see with your imagination a letter G. Now its purpose is actually, that's on purpose, is to look like a G, and its function is to circle the G on the staff. It's to tell you, it's like a secret code, to tell you where G is. Okay, and then a really important thing to realize then is once you have a starting place on a staff, you then know where all the notes are, and the reason you know it is because they simply follow the alphabet, and you guys are rock solid on the alphabet, or you wouldn't be in high school yet. So in the musical alphabet, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then once we get to G, we restart again with A. So you can see up here on the staff, I'm hovering over that G. If I know that I'm going to go up a step and I have to start back over, well, then I have A, then I have B, C, D, E, F, G, A, into infinity, right, all the way up above the screen. You can go backwards and do the same thing. If I start at G, now I have to count backwards as I go down. That's important. So count backwards in the alphabet. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, down and down and down and down into infinity. Same process happens on the bass clef, except this symbol is designed to look like a fancy F. It's also sometimes called the F clef. If you connect the dot here to the line, and you connect this dot, you can start to visualize an F, a fancy cursive F in your head. Same process. So if I know that this is F, right between the two dots, then the one above it would be G, and the one below it would be E, and so on. Now this website that you see is also musictheory.net, and you can go under exercises and choose note name identification. It'll just take you to a sheet like this, a screen like this, and you can practice this, okay? You can set up all kinds of different parameters to practice less notes at once or more. Right now I've got the full, what's called grand staff set up, where I've got the bass clef down here and the treble clef down here. So I know that my F is here, so I go G, A, well, and there's a hashtag there, which actually is called a sharp, and I would click A sharp. Yeah, same process. F, E, D, C, B, and there's a sharp on it. B sharp. What about, whoa, that's way up there, right? So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, oh, and I got to start again, to A. Now you notice when I'm counting the alphabet up and down, I'm going space, line, space, line, space, line, right? They alternate. You can't go from line to line or space to space. You got to skip letters in there. So that got me all the way to A. Okay, so you can practice on that website. It's free. You don't have to have an account or a login. And so if you're still to the point where you're thinking real slowly through all that, that's totally normal. I would suggest going through that website, and I bet you in 15 or 20 minutes of just drilling, almost like flashcards from elementary school, you're going to be quicker already and start to understand the concept of how to place and kind of memorize where all those letter names are on the staff. And that's going to be important for your future key signature identification exercises. So feel free to reference this video whenever you need it.